Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome to another online battle from Warhammer 2. So this one, it's again a 2v2 with me and Felkon, and it's the third game against Janet on occasion and ShetlandApache. The finals in Turin's tournament were best of 5, so if we win this, it's game over for Janet at Shetland, and if they manage to win, they'll get another match. So let's see how it went for anybody who didn't see it live. So for our forces we get the dwarves alongside Bretonia, and on the opponent's forces we got also Bretonia with the dark elves. Quite spooky. Alright, so for my forces we chose our strategy in this one was to go with single monster killing power with the Thunderers. These guys need to be protected at all costs so they can do some really hard damage in case he had any cavalry, Cold Knights or even Grail Knights and stuff like that, like large entities but numerous. We had the Grail Knights, and the rest was just to protect the Thunderers and provide support for the rest of the troops. So yeah, 3 Thunderers, a front line of 3 Longbeards, mixed in with just 3 Miners for chaff, 2 with blasting charges, 1 without because I didn't have the money to, and also a Runesmith over here, a Rune Lord, I'm sorry about that, which he's gonna be bringing just the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, if I'm correct. Yep, just that. For Felkon, he's gonna be going with just some men at arms with shields, not with shields, with swords, and some with spears. Some peasant mob in the front, as you can see, some more spears here, 2 Grail Knights, and just the Fey Enchantress on her horse with Favor of the Fey, Regrowth, no, actually Shield of Thorns alongside with Earthblood and Mist of the Lady and stuff like that. So for Janet's forces alongside Shetland, we get a huge line of Bretonian forces, 3 units of foot squires, some spearmen, some polearms. We even got the beast layers of Baston, even more foot squires over here, and on this side we just get some cheap spearmen at arms, some peasant mob, and that's pretty much about it. So who did he go for his lord? Where's his lord? Okay, there he is. He went for a Prophetess of Life, which he's got the Awakening of the Wood and just Earthblood. So quite nice over there. The Awakening of the Wood is gonna be great against the Grail Guardians, just shutting down their speed and just peppering them down with plenty of a death by 1,000 blades, let's just say, because yeah, that's what's gonna be coming down to. So for the Dark Elf forces we get the front line of Dread Spears. Janet is playing as the Dark Elves and Shetland as the as Bretonia, by the way. In the back we get 2 units of Black Ark Corsairs. We also got some Harganeth back here hidden, so they won't take any damage early on. Malekith on a cold one, and he's got the Gaze of Malice, the Stand Your Ground, Soul Stealer, Word of Pain, and Chill Winds. Also nice to apply speed debuff. And I think that's pretty much about it. Like, there's nothing else. So the battle is gonna begin. Let's get this on. We're gonna soon Felkon and I will soon realize that oh, is this their whole force? It seems like quite numerous on the on infantry, because we could see what was inside those woods. So we knew that there was no cavalry, so Felkon is gonna start going for some early cycle charges over here, just clearing some chaff, since all of their army is spread all over the place, so he really can't defend over here. So yeah, Shetland is gonna just sacrifice some of his peasant mobs in order to save some of the spears in the back, and Janet is also gonna be dropping by to bring some reinforcements over here. So early on, it's just gonna be the Grail Knights just doing some really good work, although it's just peasant mob. But look at these guys, they actually didn't break by that straight on charge, they keep going. And another charge is gonna be coming down here on this other peasant mob, and yeah, they're taking heavy damage. How many kills so far? 30 something on each unit. 1 unit has been broken, the Fays just keep going around. The main forces are about to engage over here. Now, that was a kind of mistake between us, because Felkon didn't tell me what the hell he was trying to do. He went with Fey over there in order to blow up all of the troops, because he knew there was nothing that could hurt Fey. But he forgot to tell me that he was gonna do that, so I was just waiting in the back, and I was like, hey dude, what are you doing there with Fey? Ah, he told me. You're supposed to shoot in here. Oh, okay, thanks for telling me. And this is where I moved my Thunderers, because I just, yeah, a little bit of misunderstanding over there. So Felkon is gonna drop with 1 unit of the Grail Knights over here just to do some work. A Word of Pain is gonna go down just to lower their melee attack, but also a Shield of Thorns, which is gonna provide a lot of physical resistance to these guys. So they will be just nicely recharging and cycle charging and do some stuff. So over here, Janet with his Harganeth and Shetland is collapsing with a heavy contingent of foot squires. So I know that this flank is gonna be open anytime soon. We also hit the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin on this Harganeth over here, and we're also shooting them with blasting charges. But yeah, these guys will just chop down through the miners quite fast. A nice Gaze of Miles going over here, just tearing through this peasant bowman, and that was a good pick because the Thunders won't suffer that much with damage. Faye has taken a significant damage from Malekith over here because of a little bit early misunderstanding there between me and Felkon, but he's gonna be alright down in the end. He's gonna just heal her up and it's gonna be good. We move a lot of our forces in the back just to create some distance between the Thunderers and ours. Felkon is just gonna be having a couple of spears over here, but honestly they won't be able to hold. The Harganeth have suffered a lot of damage due to the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. The Thunderers are opening fire point blank on these pole arms over here, but immediately as soon as he starts to collapse, I'm gonna move back to the safety of these spearmen at arms over here. These foot squires have gone through, and I'm just gonna be trying to intercept them with long beards, and I'm gonna tell Felkon, just bring in the reserves. So the Thunderers over here just cross-firing, just shooting straight through these foot squires, but there's also some Black Arc Corsairs over here. So yeah, this line is getting really heavily compromised. Felkon on the front lines with the backup of some long beards along with my miners is just free to just keep cycle charging, do his stuff. But there's also the beast layers of Baston over here with stand your ground at the moment, so that's gonna be really spooky. So over here Janet is going after the peasant Moblin, and well, kind of a nice shot for me, so I'm just gonna keep opening fire into these guys. Over here we stopped with the long beards and the men at arms some of the foot squires that were advancing, and over here the spearmen at arms are just disengaging from this fight because Shetland is actually trying to send them in the back, but as soon as I see them quite in the open, we're just gonna open fire immediately in order to hopefully terror out them, rout them before they actually start to advance. I'm gonna be taking a good position over here just in order to be able to crossfire. So yeah, these guys are gonna be falling back. These guys, as soon as I see that he's actually chasing these ones, are gonna open up a quick volley over here, and these guys too. I can get a couple in before he catches up to me. Felkon is also moving some peasant mob who had just rallied in order to intercept that. I'm gonna be moving my Thunderers back. These guys will just soon turn around because I'm gonna notice that he's going after this one, and this is what you wanna do against infantry that's chasing your skirmish line. Over here he tries to get a nice Gaze of Malice, but it's gonna mostly hit the Dread Spears, and I need these Thunderers free, and I noticed that the Dread Spears are coming over here, so I'm gonna tell the Felkon, dude, save my these Thunderers, I need them in order to operate on the other flanks. And as you can see over here, we managed to shatter these spearmen at arms, broke them, not shatter them, and by the sheer number of firepower. Over on this side we're doing kind of the same. As soon as these guys were free, we opened fire on the Dread Spears, and with the help of the Grail Knights we were able to do some stuff. Also in here, just this game came really down to keeping our line away from the Thunderers and keeping them safe. As you can see, they're all full health almost. No harm has come into them, and look at that, just a full volley from these three just brings Malekith down to almost 50% health, and he's into some big trouble right now, so he's gonna have to disengage. The Harganeth has been hit with the second time with the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and they're down to like 1% health, and 22 models still left alive. I think one volley from the Thunderers is gonna be able to shatter those guys. And over here I'm just having my Thunderers spread all over the place, so even if he's gonna be trying to go into this free pocket over here with the foot squires to get me, he's just gonna be met by a roar of thunder. And yeah, these foot squires, as soon as they realize what the hell they're up against, they're just gonna fall back and just start to break. So Malekith, he tries to come also in here, but as soon as he sees the Thunderers full health, able to just shoot straight into him, he's just gonna fall back to the safety of his own troops, just trying to do some work back here. He's fighting just one Grail Guardian at the moment. Some rallying forces coming in to just keep these foot squires from advancing. The Rune Lord is gonna be coming over here providing some support. The Fey Enchanters over here has finally almost managed to get rid of the Beast Layers of Baston, along with the help of the cycle charging of the Grail Knights, who are down to 5% health, and also their healing cap has triggered, so no more healing for them. We got some miners over here because I see that this flank is about to collapse, so I'm just gonna send these guys in just to keep them in place. The Thunderers are gonna be advancing forward. I'm gonna see an opening over here. They just came within my point of view, let's just say plane of view, and yeah, we're just gonna open fire, and these spearmen are just gonna be destroyed. Or over here some peasant mob are gonna be coming, but as I said, I'm just gonna shift around and start shooting whoever is coming. Oh, I actually just moved the miners over here to hold back both of these, not both, 4 of these units, so they won't come after me. The Prophetess is going down over here with the help of the Fae, who is far superior fighter than Prophetess. But Malekith is still here, but he's taking some shots now. He also, I just hit the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, so he wouldn't be able to run because I didn't have any good target to hit it with. Like, it was almost the end of the game. And yeah, that's about it. So me and Felkon are gonna take the 3rd game. We're gonna claim the prize for the tournament. Prize, I mean the prize of glory. There wasn't any prize pool or anything like that. And yeah, this is actually the first tournament, the first 2v2 tournament that I've won, and I'm quite happy about that because I didn't derp. I think I was kind of on the same level with Felkon. I mean, without my Thunderers for this specific match, it would be a lot different place. Like, look at that. How often do you see Thunderers able to finish off with full health? So yeah, for me, the Rune Lord did an amazing job with the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. The miners just did also their stuff. The Longbeards, just an amazing front line to hold the enemy as much as they can. And the Thunderers, you know what's up with them. For Felkon, the Fate did a great amount of kills, 53 and a lot of health damage, I'm sure of it, because of the Mist of the Lady and stuff. The peasant mob, along with the chaff, did quite fantastic job, just pinning the enemy in place in order for my Thunderers to open fire. The peasant bowmen got targeted down because of their pox arrows, and they're quite squishy, so yeah, they didn't get to do much. And also the Grail Knights did quite spectacular, but you gotta take into account that there was a lot of chaff into the enemy roster, so this is why the kill count was so high. For Janet over here, I think Malekith was a great pick. The Harganeth, as you can see, even though they got targeted down real hard, they still managed to get 168 kills, which is amazing. The Black Ark Corsairs also did decently, but they were up against Longbeard, so they weren't able to get through that armor. It all came down to the Harganeth and the Foot Squires. So let's check over here. The Prophetess, it was a decent pick, but I don't think, you always go either Fae or Lewin in most cases, and I don't know, perhaps if you want a meme, you bring Uncle Beric. The peasant mob, yeah, they didn't stand a chance. The spearmen did not do that great. The polearms as well not. And the foot squires were the only ones that actually put up a decent fight. And the beast slayers of Baston actually were a great pick because it kept Felkon at bay for quite some time, and just forcing him to disengage from that fight on that flank. And also it caused him a lot of damage. That's where most of the damage came from, and also Soul Stealer from Malekith and stuff like that. So that was it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification button. And yes, I'm gonna be seeing you next time. Bye bye.